WGRV.
We're joined in our studios this morning with Paige Mengel of the Greeneville Theater Guild. Good morning, Paige. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm just fine. How are you?
We're good. You're here to talk today about a fundraising that's going to go on down at the Greeneville Greene County History Museum. And tell us what's going to come up this Friday night.
Well, we've got a joint fundraiser between the museum and the Greeneville Theater Guild. The museum reached out to us. They had this idea that they would like to do something to join theatrics and the museum together, and we think that it's a good thing to form partnerships with some of the organizations here in town, so we thought that was a great idea.
Tell us what people can expect to see Friday night if they come down.
Well, we're going to have heavy hors d'oeuvres and some libations for the folks who come in, and then the Theater Guild is responsible for the entertainment. We're going to take some people back in time, take them on a tour of to like 5 different rooms there in the museum. Mm-hmm. We'll put on a short skit in each one. The rooms that we want to feature, we have the Magnavox room, the Veterans room that they have there, a Victorian era elegant home room, the Black History room, and then the Depression era room. So we've got some things planned for each one of those.
You don't have anybody that's going to get an iron lung that they have downstairs?
No.
You may wheel that up and put it somewhere. What I know you're not as directly affiliated with the museum, but obviously you've been through to see what you're going to do and how you're going to set things up. Talk about each one of those and how you can relate that to the what you all are going to do. Magnavox was such a big force in Greeneville and Greene County, and they sponsored just about everything at one time, I'm sure.
They did, and I love the display that they have in there. They've got some of the old sets that were created here in Greene County, and Magnavox just made a difference for so many people, and of course TV in general did as well. So we kind of wanted to play up on how TV changed the way people do things at home. I think that one's going to be fun.
Okay.
We decided not to focus exactly on the business, but just family life in general.
And the Veterans room, you got, what have you got? I don't want you to give away everything, but you can talk a little bit about what you've seen in there and how you're going to integrate that into your show. Well,
we wanted to point out that a museum isn't always just boring things, and there are some really interesting stories from Greene County, and we found a couple of those. In the Veterans Room is one of those. Mm-hmm. We highlight one of the stories that is highlighted in there that has to do with a local fella.
All right.
Yeah.
And I think people don't realize when you talk about the Victorian, how some of the older houses that are downtown were, and some of the houses that aren't there anymore were just these beautiful Victorian style houses and part of our history.
Exactly. And the museum has put together a really beautiful room with some lovely pieces of furniture. We also want to highlight some of the customs and the way people used to live in that time. We've got a couple of young ladies who are going to portray that a little bit.
And the of course, this is Black History Month. February is, and you'll be right outside that on Friday, but close enough that you can tie that in with the Black history of Greeneville and Greene County.
Yes, that's another one of those rooms where we found a little nugget of directly related to Greene County history about a fella from Greene County and something that he did.
And then the Depression era, that's a sad time. How are you going to make people enjoy learning about the Depression?
We've got a woman who will portray a little bit about life during that era, and having a husband that works away from home, and her having to take care of things while he goes out and tries to make money wherever he can.
So the fundraiser goes to support the Greeneville Greene County History Museum, but also the Greeneville Theater Guild. Talk about the Guild and how you're getting involved and who all is going to help you out with this.
Oh, goodness.
You want to have a bunch? Do you have a bunch involved?
We do have several, yes. We've got Tom Sizemore will be involved, Parker Bunch. Of course, Sandy Neighbor and I are helping put our part together. Audrey Shoemaker, Laura Dupler has involved her whole family. Her husband and her daughter will be there with us. Whitney Marshall and Amanda Harmon, and Bree Rosar and Mike Willis. And Heather Dalton and Gary Carver.
That's a bunch.
Yes.
That's a bunch. So the Greeneville Theater Guild, tell us a little bit about the history of the Guild and what you all do and where your passions are.
Our passions are actually, I'm going to start with that one first. It's to bring theatrical presentations to Greeneville and Greene County. The theater at Tusculum group, Arts Outreach there, has a wonderful program, but of course they're limited to only being able to do a couple of shows a year, and we just wanted to have a little more opportunity for people to be involved. We teach people about how things go on backstage, how to design and build a set, how the equipment works, all of that kind of stuff. We officially formed in 2014.
Yeah.
Did our first show in 2015, so we're just now starting our 5th season.
I think it's a neat thing. Of course, people would have been familiar years ago with the little theater of Greeneville, and then that just kind of, went to the wayside, I think, with some changes in their venues and places that they could do. And I think that's something the community missed, having a group of people from the community that were interested in putting things on like that.
We thought so, too. We thought that there was something missing, and we thought that it was time to try to bring that back, and there was enough interest.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have, you got another show, you got your next show, I guess, is coming up in March. Is that the first of the season, end of the season? Do you have multiple things planned for the year?
We do. That's the first show of the season.
Okay.
We're celebrating the 30th anniversary of the release of the movie Steel Magnolias. The movie was based on a play, actually, that a fellow wrote about his family. And so we're putting on that play to help celebrate the 30th anniversary of the movie. That's our first one. It opens March 15th, and we run 2 weekends. And then we've got 3 others coming up for the season.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yes, absolutely. Tell us.
I'm really excited about our musical that's coming up in June as well. We're putting on one called Bright Star. It's written by Steve Martin. Steve Martin, yes.
Yeah.
And Edie Brickell. It's about...
Wow.
It was inspired by a real event. It's written and takes place in Appalachia, and so it's not your stereotypical Broadway musical. It's got some bluegrass music and that kind of stuff.
Steve Martin's a very accomplished banjo player in bluegrass. I think he probably does that about as good as he ever did comedy, too. He's really out there now.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. And they have just written a beautiful story, and I'm excited to bring that one to the stage. That'll be my first directing slot, too, so I'm excited about that. And then our fall show is Arsenic and Old Lace.
Oh, yeah.
That'll happen in September, directed by Bill Regan. Of course, it's a classic that we're bringing back. And then the Christmas show will be a little different. The feature play is called A Good Old-Fashioned Redneck Country Christmas.
Okay.
It's only about an hour long, though, so we're going to have a play. The first act be a play put on by local high school students. So that'll be a first for us as well.
All right. Well, for information on the fundraiser that's coming up this Friday night, where do you get tickets and how are they available and how do you get involved in that?
Tickets are available at the museum itself, or they can be picked up at Catalyst Coffee Shop. They're $50 each. That does include all of the
drinks,
food and drinks and everything. Yes, and then again, it does support both organizations.
It is 21 and older.
Yes, it is.
No
because
kids, because of the libations.
Right.
Can you get tickets at the door? Do you need to have a head count ahead of time? Do you know if there's a cutoff on when to get tickets?
We would like to know as many as we can ahead of time, just to make sure we have enough food and libations for everyone. But I'm sure that no one would be turned away at the door.
And then as far as the Greeneville Theater Guild, with March starting Friday, when do you have tickets on sale, and what are the best way to get tickets to see Steel Magnolia?
They are on sale now on our website, www.greenevilletheaterguild.org.
Okay.
You can get them online. You can also get them at the door. So far, we haven't sold out, so I don't believe anyone would be turned away at the door.
That's at the Capitol Theater, and you'll do those on a Friday, Saturday. You do a Sunday matinee also?
We do.
Okay.
Friday and Saturday night it starts at 7, and Sundays at 2 o'clock.
And that'll be 2 consecutive weekends starting on Friday the 15th.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I look forward to that. I look forward to Arsenic and Old Lace, and Bright Star sounds neat also. So
it really is. I'm excited.
All right. Very good. Paige Mengel with the Greeneville Theater Guild talking to us today about the fundraiser this Friday night at the Greeneville Greene County History Museum. Tickets for $50 per person. That includes heavy hors d'oeuvres, drinks, and the entertainment that will go along that through that. It's called Now and Then, a walk through time, as they'll go through the Magnavox, the veterans, the Victorian, Black history, and the Depression portions of the museum, and give you a little information and entertainment on all of those. Again, tickets are available at the museum or at Catalyst Coffee. And Paige, thank you very much for coming today.
Oh, thank you. I've enjoyed it.